Imagine entering a boutique lounge with the intention of filming a cute little fashion scene, only to have your entire emotional breakdown on camera instead. That's exactly what happened when Yandy Smith arrived on set expecting a script and entered a betrayal ambush. Fans are asking, was this a meltdown or a setup? In response to what transpired, which included Rasheeda's icy stares, Jessica Dime's petty little side eyes, and Yandy. Oh baby, she didn't just cry, she cracked on camera mascara running. Like it was auditioning for a horror reboot of Love and Hip Hop The Breakdown. Edition sources claim that even the producers asked, should we be filming this? Spoiler alert, they did every single tear, every trembling breath, and every sidelong glance of betrayal. So what sent Yandy over the edge? And why is everyone claiming that this moment could ruin or redefine her entire storyline? This isn't your typical love and hip-hop drama. It's a televised emotional collapse that went viral on TV history. Let's examine the mess layer by layer. What was supposed to be a laid-back, relaxed day of filming for Love and Hip Hop turned into one of the most explosive emotional meltdowns in real life TV history. And no, this isn't clickbait. The atmosphere was lighthearted and there were some fake hugs and a little shade. But what we got was a full-blown emotional demolition derby, and guess who was driving the chaos bus right through the Velvet Lounge? Yandy freaking Smith. Isn't new to drama, but even she didn't see this coming, according to sources. She arrived early, looking perfect with her lashes curled and her edges laid. And she was wearing an outfit that said CEO. But suspiciously timed leaks. Brutus was wearing a Balenciaga blazer, and she had been hearing her name in places where it didn't belong, and she wasn't included in blog posts that were analyzing her every move. The thing that really set off the fire was that boutique shoot. Imagine this, a chic lounge in Atlanta with velvet chairs and mood lighting, cameras rolling, crew sipping iced coffee, producers anticipating a brief. Elegant scene about fashion collaborations and cast trips. Yandy enters the room calm and collected, but inside she's a teapot on a flame and Rasheeda struts in. Like she owns the set cream blouse, diamond studs, and energy. She nods to Yandy as if she's a barista rather than a co-star. Calm as the eye of a hurricane, she says, and Yandy barely blinks. Yeah, we good? She asks. But Rasheeda doesn't look Yandy in the eye. And when the dam broke, it flooded. Yeah, we good, Rasheeda responds. But she's not looking Yandy in the eye. And when the dam broke, she sits up straight and flat like an HR email because she heard Q. Someone discussing my business and how I act when the cameras aren't rolling. And then Jessica Dime comes in like she's arriving late to brunch, iced coffee in hand, pretending she didn't just walk into an emotional minefield. As Rasheeda throws a what's the tea smirk across the room, Yandy's eyes go cold. She snaps, you know what's going on, you've been talking, and now I'm here. So say it to me. Jessica raises her eyebrows without missing a beat. We say what we want, and that's when Yandy's boss chick, mother mogul, and flawless makeup start to fall apart like a silk press in the rain. Her voice shakes, not out of fear, but rather frustration. She's sick and weary of being the narrative scapegoat, drops at her real-life pain. My son has been acting wild at school. I'm barely sleeping and friends are gossiping like I'm the problem. Jessica scoffs. You're the problem. It's always about you and baby. Looks could kill. That lounge would have turned into a murder scene. Rasheeda tries to remain calm, but her eyes flicker. And she feels guilty, ashamed, and doesn't need receipts because I know it's you. Then, all of a sudden, her breath catches, her lashes flutter, and she bursts into ugly, raw gut punch sobs not mascara save tears. The director calls cut, but the second unit continues filming because, let's face it, this is what content executives dream about in boardrooms outside the set. Yandy's friend rushes to her side, wraps her in an embrace. No glam team, no camera. Just real tears, real hurt, and she sits on a bench with her makeup ruined. Within 24 hours, screenshots of the breakdown footage go viral. And guess what? The footage goes viral. She snapped, saying, "I'm too emotional, and I'm finally showing my real side." But that was only Act 1 because, let's be clear, once that video of Yandy crying in the middle of a scene went viral, it was like someone putting gasoline on a fire that was already raging. Instagram was overflowing with sloppy fan edits. And TikTok was a war zone of split-screen reaction videos and fake lip syncs of Yandy's tearful monologue. However, just when the internet thought it had seen it all, and Anoni screenshots and, believe me, was chaos because of the alleged group messages between cast members that dragged Yandy through the mud like she was a busted Birkin on clearance. In one text, Jessica allegedly wrote, "She cries every season and then plays victim like, girl, you're not a martyr, you're a manipulator." Another claimed Rasheeda told someone off camera that even though Yandy always had a storyline ready, even her tears got PR teams. The fans went into full detective mode, comparing emojis, dates, and slang styles as if they were FBI agents, or fakes created by board trolls. But one thing was obvious: Yandy was getting hits left and right, and not just from strangers. Sign Santana, who wasn't even in the episode, commented on Instagram stories with chili. The camera captured what should have remained behind text. "Excuse me, where's the loyalty?" Then, wait. We have to discuss the Rasheeda voice memo. Yes, someone leaked a voice memo that Rasheeda allegedly sent to a friend, in which she explains, "Why Andy? In the memo, Rasheeda allegedly states, Yandy always wants sympathy, but she don't listen. She'll act like she above everybody. However, when it falls apart, she is the victim once more. Girl, people began taking sides when that clip appeared on social media as if it were the infinity war of reality TV hashtag Tam Andy versus hashtag Team Rasheed. Memes went viral. Polls exploded, and YouTubers posted 40-second videos analyzing who started it, who lied, and who was secretly jealous. And guess who emerged just in time to stir things up? Kimela, yes, it was Cambella who suddenly posted a mysterious tweet that read, "Some people been fake crying for camera time, but that ain't none of my business, or maybe it is, girl. You just going to throw shade and walk off like you didn't light the whole forest on fire?" Blame Yandy disappears for days without posting anything. Not even a motivational quote on her stories. And people begin to wonder if she's okay, planning a comeback, or getting legal action because, baby. There were rumors that she was preparing to sue the network for emotional distress. Yes, insiders began whispering that she was tired of being used as a punching bag for ratings and might even be looking to terminate her contract altogether. However, that's not even the most outrageous part, though, because we later learned via a phony anonymous producer email that was leaked to a dubious gossip blog that the entire breakdown scene wasn't even supposed to air. The email purportedly read, "Yandy was vulnerable, that wasn't meant to be part of the storyline, but after she ghosted us for 48 hours. The network made the call, and few the fans, they were not having it exploitative, y'all. Did her dirty. She cried and y'all cashed a check off it. Some fans even started a petition titled #ProtectAndy, demanding that the network issue an apology. While others referred to her meltdown as strategic, claiming that she had planned it to elicit sympathy and lock in her S as the world debated the contract. Rasheeda attempted to salvage her image by going live on Instagram and stating, "I never wanted this to blow up like that. I've always had love for Yandy. We've just been going through it. That's all, girl. Bye. You weren't showing affection when you sent that memo." But Jessica Dime was going all out, posting a carousel of her in Dubai with the caption, "I'm not in drama. Drama is in me. Book, not bored." Oh, how petty. Meanwhile, blogs began to leak. Rumors that cast members were being forced to take sides behind the scenes. Producers reportedly asked the women who they would prefer to work with going forward. And some said that neither was the reason why the atmosphere on set had become so toxic. Then, the revenge post appeared. And an old friend of Yanz's posted a picture of them from years ago with the messy caption, "The real ones know." The real ones remained silent, but they waited for it to be revealed, and everyone began to speculate that Yandy was going to reveal her own receipts, such as emails or texts, proving that Rasheeda and Jessica had been planning scenes for Drama Cloud, or worse, possibly something financial. And when it hit the streets, Yandy had hired a private PR crisis fixer. Yes, ma'am, she brought in the big guns. This media strategist was known for clearing up celebrity chaos, flipping narratives, and burying the competition. Word was that she was already creating a reintroduction campaign for Yandy's new podcast interviews. Glossy photo shoots, staged, healing moments, and even discussions of a potential spin-off. The goal was to portray Yandy as the betrayed peacemaker who only wanted everyone to win. And guess what? It started to work. People started posting things like, "We were too hard on one of the few people who actually keeps it classy is Yandy." Rasheeda and Jessica were undoubtedly banding together against her. And the comeback arc was just getting started when someone leaked what is allegedly footage from a never-aired reunion scene in which Jessica Dime accuses Yandy of leaking stories to the press. The clip shows Yandy denying it, but Jessica isn't buying it. And in the background, Rasheeda just sits there with her arms folded, silent, and the room freezing. The scene ends with Yandy getting up, snatching her mic off, and storming out. And baby, that's exactly where we pick up in the video, because this scandal isn't over by any means. Yandy storms out with mic in hand, lashes clamped, wigs still perfectly snatched. But don't forget that the energy in that room was as cold as Antarctica in a snowstorm. As soon as she slammed the dressing room door behind her, the cast was told to remain seated while security handled Yandy's exit. Yes, it got that deep, and no one was allowed to follow her. There were no explanations or apologies, just silence. And Yandy's heavy heels reverbed down the hallway like the final bell in a boxing match. But that wasn't even the end, because guess what? That unreleased footage was allegedly leaked by someone on the production team, according to a very dramatic anonymous source. They felt Yandy was being used as a scapegoat and wanted the public to see the truth because they were tired of the narrative being twisted. So we now have an alleged internal rebellion on set, with footage leaked, a divided cast, and fans demanding answers. It was like Watergate on reality TV, except instead of politicians, it was glam squads. And the backlash started almost immediately. The internet became a courtroom, with Instagram pages dropping timelines that broke down the beef, and Toke sleuths posting slow-motion breakdowns of the reunion clip, similar to the Zapruder film Reddit threads, appeared with conspiracy level information revealing that before she pulled at the planned exit, Yandy's macwear was already loose. People said, "Notice Rasheeda's hands clenched body language. Don't lie." The sponsors then began to watch as some brands that collaborated with the cast started to withdraw one skincare line, paused all collaborations with Jessica, and issued a generic statement saying, "We are monitoring the situation." Rasheeda's boutique began receiving one-star reviews online, despite the fact that people had never been there, demonstrating how petty the fans were becoming. Meanwhile, Yandy made her first move without a sit-down interview or a dramatic selfie. Just a simple black 3 words: "Time tells the truth." Within hours, celebrities slid into the comments with cryptic support. "Tamara Braxton always stands tall, sis. The truth has legs. Remy Ma, you've been real. Let them fake ones spin themselves. Candy Boris, we've got your back." Now that the public tide is turning, Team Yandy is gaining momentum. Even people who swore she was manipulative a week ago are suddenly screaming that we owe her an apology. And just when you think it can't get any wilder, Rasheeda releases a 19-minute life update vlog on YouTube. The vlog was ostensibly about her boutique expansion, but it also included 6 minutes of her addressing the drama. Explains, "I won't go into too much detail, I simply think people should consider the complete situation before choosing a side. Some individuals like to pretend to be hurt when they were actually throwing punches the entire time. Are you kidding us, ma'am? Ain't it? Rasheeda's passive shade won't save you. Yandy broke down, and you all watched her like statues. Yes. Rasheeda was being flamed. Jessica Dime went rogue and went live on Instagram with a glass of champagne, saying, "You'll really believe them crocodile tears, man." She's crying because she lost control, not because she's crying about feelings. The worst part is that another person joins the conversation. A producer who previously worked on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta writes a lengthy thread about the toxic atmosphere behind the scenes, claiming that Yandy was coerced into filming that breakdown moment, despite her repeated requests to avoid being mic'd up that day. In the most damning tweet, they threatened to cut her screen time if she didn't give them something today. She gave them what they wanted, and then the entire story changed. Days later, the network eventually speaks up, but not with a press release. Instead, they give them a sneak peek at season 12, just as Seferandin muted Jessica Rasheeda to Rising Lovian. The hashtags went crazy, and Yandy's comeback campaign took off after she appeared in a full interview with a well-known podcast. One of those sit-on a couch and cry shows where she talked openly about being set up, used, and emotionally manipulated. This season, truths unravel, alliances shift, breakdowns become breakthroughs. Oh, so now we're calling it a breakthrough. Didn't mention names, but the intolerant people I called sisters supported me while I broke down, and some even applauded. When a Listister tweeted, "Reality TV ain't worth your peace." Proud of Yandy for speaking your truth. The public was back on her side, and even celebrities began reposting in support. Fans immediately guessed Rasheeda and Jessica when the final bombshell appeared on a gossip blog, which claimed that 2 cast members were being investigated internally by the network for allegedly plotting to fabricate stories about Yandy in order to gain screen time. The post also stated that producers were reevaluating contracts. The network agrees that we might witness the greatest redemption arc in reality TV history. But if not, rumors have it that Netflix is sniffing around to pick her up for a documentary, which they are calling a behind-the-scenes look at the dark side of reality TV. As for the future, sources say the cast is on Ice Reunion Part 2, filming delayed new scenes suspended the vibe radioactive. The question now is, was Yandy really the villain or the victim caught in a producer-powered crossfire? Was Rasheeda simply misunderstood or the silent assassin hiding behind boutique sales and passive captions? Will this drama become the end of Love and Hip Hop DL as we know it? We watched the tears, saw the silence, and read the captions. But do we really know the whole story, or is this just the tip of a very messy, very scripted iceberg? Let's face it, if reality TV were to win Oscars, this cast would win. But now it's your turn to dive into the drama. What do you think happened behind the scenes? Was Yandy set up by the producers for ratings? Should Rasheeda and Jessica be held accountable? Or are they just pawns in a larger game? Would you watch a Yandy solo spinoff if it meant leaving the others behind? Sound off in the comments and let the drama unfold right here. This story has more layers than a lace front during a heat wave. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next jaw-dropping. We'll be right here, exposing you, spilling the phony tea with genuine conviction, because we don't blink in this house. Instead, we go back in time. Until then, keep your lashes long, your secrets dirty, and your receipts ready.